This, my friend, is the great Australian bush.
Let me tell you a story about a place there is in Victoria. It's about a place I know, and around the bend we go, and about we've made a show. Come on, let's go to Bendigo.
Hello and welcome to the Bendigo bushland, where we show you what it's like to be in the Bendigo bushland with our mini-series. So make sure you watch them all, because they're bloody terrific.
This, my friends, is a great Australian bush. Trees as far as the eye can see. Where must be the only people for miles. It's just great. No, don't film that. No.
Sorry.
Don't. So here we are in the Australian bush. Just me and the cameraman. We must be the only people for kilometres around us. This seems to actually be a didgeridoo. Looks like around this place, the Jar Jar Rung people, or Jara Jara, this must be a didgeridoo from when they lived in old ways. It must be 200 years old, I reckon. It's just beautiful. This has been on the ground for 200 years. It's sensational.
The Jar Jar Rung people, who initially inhabited this land, had kangaroo races, which created this riverbed. This here is turn number 7, quite a deadly one, as it has quite a steep side to it. And just over there is the old equivalent of the TAB, where they would place their bets on their kangaroo, which they would like to win. I do actually recall about 30,000 years ago, a kangaroo by the name of Mackay Horsa, or as that translates in Aboriginal to the leaf thing, won this race by taking out all of the other kangaroos on this actual turn.
Wombat.
A good 5 years ago, I would now be underwater and probably drowning. But now, because of the drought, what used to be magnificent waterlands has reduced to this. Definitely a high concentration of salt in there. Just one of the reasons why SeaWorld was moved from here up to the Gold Coast. It's just too dry to have all the dolphins here. Shade, a very rare thing to come by in the Australian bush. That's why a wide-brimmed hat is always needed. Unfortunately, I only have a cap, so I have to continually move it around so the shade is always on my face. The shade is almost as rare as this plant. A green looks weird, but is actually food for native people who live here. It's so rare. It's just rare.
Isn't that the native kangaroo paw? That's everywhere.
Nah, that's not it. That's
everywhere.
That's
it's
an
like
imitation of
as
it.
common as. No, it's it.
Poisonous.
And there's even more over there.
Nah, you're just being silly now.
What? That's freaking everywhere.
Nah. Yeah, shade's really rare.
G'day, it's me again. Here I am in the great Australian outback. This land around us, we acknowledge that was originally Jar Jar Rung territory, the local indigenous population. Of course, white people rummaged through here, destroyed their way of life. But we still respect that. The original name for this great land all around us is Kamanarjara, which roughly translates in common English to around the bend I go. Beautiful. This tree here is actually the very rare, uncommon, leafless, miniature gum tree. Looks pretty plain, but the local indigenous people, this would be one of their main food sources. It looks, some people say it looks a bit like a piece of wood, but they just can't see it. Just look at this magnificent structure. It tastes delicious. Really good.
Here we have a very old campsite of two explorers, David and Steve. Both great explorers who founded the Bendigo area that we are on. Well, the indigenous people found it first, but the first Europeans to find it. Here we have what is clearly a very old can of beer, showing that they once had a very good time here. And moving on, it looks what we see as the remains of their hut, which they created out of nothing but sticks. Here in the outback, it is actually so hot. If I was to urinate right here, my urine would evaporate before it hit the ground.
We're back here, we've done a round trip, and we're back here at the, I was saying this was the old indigenous cave. As you can see on the side of this magnificent cave, there's actually some indigenous Jar Jar Rung language writing here. This actually translates to roughly in English, love and peace throughout the land. It's inspirational. That 10,000 years ago, someone could write such inspirational words. We've come to the end of yet another adventure. This was just part one of our bushland adventures. If you want to check out part two, it's even better. Check it out, go to our YouTube page, click on it, click, and give it a gaze. So, until next time, see you later.